Tagit do nhập người chuyên nghiệp quá ha.
Auntie, do you have the link for it?
Yeah, just put it in the Discord.
Discord?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Good evening, everyone. We were going to be getting started very, very shortly. We are a little over time. Can we go ahead and find our seats? We're going to get started immediately. Please find your seats.
Why are you laughing at me? I did like I'm being like sent to a corner. I'm about to do work. What's that supposed to be? That's supposed to be. Get all your jokes out. What's that mean?
Everyone, please find your seats. All right, everyone. I want to welcome you to the 18th edition of ACM Projects. First off, thank you guys so much for coming out tonight. Can I get a round of applause? Like I said before, this is the 18th edition of ACM Projects Presentation Night. For those who may not know, ACM Projects is a semester-long initiative that's guiding students on creating their first software development application in a team environment. Tonight, we get to see those finished products. My name is Adarsh.
And my name is Suhani, and we are the co-directors of ACM Projects here at UT Dallas. I'd like to start off tonight by saying a big thank you to our team who have been here supporting us throughout the whole semester. I'd like to start off by introducing the president and vice president of ACM at UT Dallas, Elijah, Hiba, and Mercedes. They've been incredibly supportive of ACM Projects this semester, and we're very thankful for all of their advice and support that they provided us to our program and our teams. I'll hand it off to them to say a few words.
All right. Well, like they said, congratulations to all the participants, amazing PMs, and all of our industry mentors that made tonight happen. There's a lot of hours that were poured into all the amazing projects that you all are going to see tonight. So I encourage you, lean in, and more than anything, get involved. Projects is just one of our many incredible divisions, so there's so many ways to add value to your local community through ACM. So I encourage you, come talk to us, get involved. We'd love to see you be a part. But again, thank you everyone for coming up.
Everyone, I'm Mercedes. I'm the vice president of ACM. To all of the participants, I've seen you guys at your build nights, and I just want to say congratulations. You guys have made it. You've done an amazing job this past semester. I've seen how much you've grown, and I will say I started out in ACM Projects, and a bunch of ACM officers, we've all started here. So this is not really the end. This is really just the beginning.
Hello everyone, my name is Hiba. I'm also the Vice President of ACM. First off, I just want to start off by congratulating our participants for all of your hard work and effort and for being here at presentation night. We couldn't be more proud of you, and we're so excited to see what you all are going to achieve. Additionally, I just want to say that I also started off in ACM Projects, and presentation night is one of the best memories I have from UTD, so I hope you all take the night in and just enjoy it and remember it. Also, I want to say that throughout this process, I hope that you've made ACM your home and continue to make ACM your home. We're so excited to see how all of you continue to stay involved within ACM, like Elijah said. Also to the audience, thank you all so much for showing up tonight and supporting our participants. We're so excited to see what they've accomplished this semester. Thank you.
Alright, we'd also like to thank ACM Media for helping photograph tonight's event and making it memorable for our entire team. And a huge shout out to Unvi for helping us live stream tonight's event, allowing those who are not able to make it today still be a part of the experience. very big thanks to all the work you put in setting up the live stream tonight. Thank you so much. And thank you so much to the entire ACM media team for supporting us throughout the entire semester.
We also want to give a big thanks to our project managers who've guided their participants throughout the semester to help make their experience memorable for each participant. I'm going to now hand it off to our PMs to say a few words.
Hello everyone, my name is Anaya. I'm the project manager for Team Roadmap, right over there. And I just want to say thank you so much for coming out tonight and showing your support to all of the participants who have worked so hard for the past 10 weeks. It really means a world of a difference. And to the participants, you guys have worked really, really hard. And now's your chance just to be proud of it and show us what you got. I hope you guys enjoy our lineup for tonight. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Ethan. I'm the PM for Socratic. I've been a PM for 4 semesters now. And my advice to the participants here is definitely to bring the energy, right? It's not just one day, it's not 1 week, but it's an entire semester's worth of late night debugging sessions, frustrating merge conflicts. So all that energy from the entire semester, definitely bring it out today, and I can't wait to see everyone's hard work. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jasmine. I'm the PM for CarCare, and it's my first semester as a PM here. My piece of advice is just go out and give it your all, and all that effort that you've put in this semester, really leverage all those skills and take it on with you in the future. And I'm so excited to see what you all continue to build in the future. Congrats.
Hello everyone, my name is Matthew, and this is my second
actually send it to
semester
me,
as a PM.
and I
I'm
put it in
the
ACM
PM
Projects
for
now.
Safeway, and one thing I have to say to everyone is just have a lot of fun, show off what you guys done. Everyone here is super, super, super excited to see what you guys have to put on show, so just bring the energy. Thank you.
Go Matthew!
Hello everyone, my name is Mohammed. I'm the PM for Agentic Detective, and it's my second semester as a project manager. And for the audience, I just want to say that you're about to witness 10 weeks of work from 11 different teams, and so I just hope that you really enjoy what we have worked on for this whole semester. And to the participants, I just want you guys to have fun, to take a deep breath, and realize that it's almost over. You guys have this in the bag, and I believe in you.
Hello everyone, my name is Noel. This is my 4th semester as a PM, and I'm the PM for Housemates. And I just want to thank all of you guys for coming out here. All of our participants have worked incredibly hard throughout this entire 10 weeks, so thank you all for being here. And to the participants, just take a deep breath. You guys have been doing this all semester long, so just my piece of advice is go out there and own what you've been doing. Good luck.
Hello everybody, my name is Ram. I'm the PM for Helios, and to our participants, I just want to say, really enjoy this, guys. Like, just have fun up here. It's really going to show through in your presentation, and that enthusiasm, that's what everyone here is ready to see. To the audience, you guys have a wonderful night ahead of you. These are some really cool projects out here.
Hello everyone, my name is Shreya. This is my 4th semester as a PM, and I'm the project manager for Team Dia. ACM is such an amazing community. I see so many familiar faces, so many new faces, so many people that are going to enjoy your amazing presentations, and I want you to know that you always have a place here, you always have a community, and really take advantage of that.
Hello everyone, my name is Sunny. I'm the PM for Team Verbalize. This is my 1st semester being a PM. To all the participants, all of you look so serious right now. Can we get a few smiles? All of you have worked incredibly hard. Good luck, y'all got this.
Hi everyone, my name is Tammy and I'm the PM for Memoir, and this is my 3rd semester as a PM. And I just wanted to say a huge thank you to all the participants, industry mentors, co-directors, and other PMs for putting in so many long hours to make these projects as amazing as they can be. And I'm really excited for y'all to see them tonight.
Hi, hello everyone. I'm Tremon. I'm the PM for Tagit. One word I have for the participants is
I know you guys are all nervous right now, but like try not to be nervous. You guys are super excited about your project and you guys know exactly what's going on for it. So you guys practiced so many times, you got it. And even if you're not excited about it, be excited during the presentation because it's almost over. Thank you, PMs. Y'all can go ahead and have a seat. And of course, we want to go ahead and thank our amazing industry mentors. We have Sean, Jeshna, Joanna, Philip, Lynn, Bryce, Suraj, Rishi, Sam, Amila, and Abyss. Thank you guys so much for taking out time from your busy schedules to make ACM a priority in your lives. We couldn't have done this without all of your help, and we're very grateful for your mentorship throughout the semester.
Before we get to presentations, we want to introduce and give special thanks to the judges for coming out and volunteering tonight. We definitely could not have made ACM Projects presentation night without them. I'm going to go ahead and hand it off to the judges to introduce themselves, starting off with the general judges who will be judging for first and second place.
Hey everyone, good evening. My name is Hari Ramani. I'm a managing director at Goldman Sachs, and always excited to be part of UTD and lost track of which ACM event I'm attending. It's been a pleasure to always be here, and the projects that I've always noticed have been amazing. So looking forward to all the wonderful projects that you guys have done for past 10 weeks. So super excited. Thank you.
I'm John Cole. I think most of you know who I am. Great to see you all here. Who's in my class right now? Okay, who's been in one of my classes? Nearly everyone. Okay, thanks. I need no introduction further. Thank you. I'll see your project.
That's so
Hello everyone, I'm Anushka Pimple, software engineer 2 at JP Morgan Chase, and I was also the co-director of projects in 2022. It's always crazy to see how far along the program has come along, especially because a lot of my friends are here as industry mentors, participants, officers. It's crazy, but enough about my folklore. Have fun, and to the participants, if you're nervous, tell yourself you're excited. Your brain won't know the difference.
Hi, my name is Ronnie Eichler. I have a background in computer science. Right now, I am managing a team of early career talent at AWS here in Dallas, of early career talent solution architects. So solution architect roles, we're part of the sales organization. We help our customers adopt AWS services. So this is kind of near and dear to my heart too, because a lot of what we do is demos and presentations. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what y'all have to show. Thanks.
And now to introduce our design judges who will be crowning the winners of the Best Design Award.
Well, that was awkward. Hi, my name is Hillary. I am currently a product designer at Capital One Auto. It's nice to meet y'all. Before I was a product designer, I was actually head of design at Nebula Labs, which is sponsored by John Cole. It's good to see you again. But yeah, just have fun tonight and don't be nervous. I will bite.
Hello everyone, my name is Hannah Miliano. I am a senior product designer at JP Morgan Chase. Been there for 2 years, and I love everything about design, from branding to strategy to service design to UX. So really excited to see your projects. Don't forget to take a deep breath and have a lot of fun.
And now, the moment you have all been waiting for. I can feel the excitement from every corner of the room. Each team will be given 6 minutes to present, followed by 2 minutes of questions by the judges. We ask that you hold your applause until after each team presents, and not when we introduce them. We will kick team tonight off with presentations, starting off with Team Rollmap. All right. First up, Team Roadmap.
This is John, an unemployed CS major, and he's been applying to jobs for the last few weeks.
Rejected? Rejected again?
Wait! What's stopping you from getting the internship?
I wish I had a roadmap.
Just use Rollmap.
What is roadmap?
Don't worry, John, I got you. Roadmap is an AI-powered career planning platform that turns big goals like I want to be a software engineer to a clear step-by-step game plan. We first analyze your current skills, compare them with client expectations, and generate a personalized roadmap with daily checkpoints and weekly goals. Now, let's meet the team. I'm Pranay.
I'm Siri.
I'm John. And I'm Tom. Now that you've met the team, let's dive into Rollmap's core features. Our app starts by understanding the user's current skill level. Using our NLP engine, we extract context and skills from the user's resume, GitHub repos, and commits. Then, we store all that data inside of a knowledge graph, saving all the complex relationships between these skills. But how does saving this data help the user progress?
I'm glad you asked that, Tom. To answer that question, we introduced Roadmap, our core feature of Roadmap. We match users' target roles and learning preferences against real-world job expectations. Then we make notes of these, which is completely interactive. As the user progresses throughout this roadmap, each of these concepts and skills they learn is automatically integrated into this resume. Now that you know the map, let's actually check out how the user learns these concepts.
We break this down even further using our task generation algorithm, which fetches high-quality learning resources from the web, such as articles, tutorials, and coding exercises, ranked for relevance and reliability. Going hand in hand, our skill decay system gamifies review through a health bar, which gradually decreases if topics aren't revisited, using spaced repetition to reinforce older concepts. Together, these features support structured, actionable, and long-time learning.
Roadmap turns career growth into a gamified learning system. As users complete daily tasks and weekly goals, they earn XP and streaks. These points can then be used to customize their character, unlock new themes, and design their experiences. Now, let's see all of this in action.
Thank you, Pranay. Let's get straight into the demo. This is our landing page. The user can start their journey by authenticating with their Google account. This takes us straight to onboarding. Let's say you want to be a software engineer working at Amazon and you're a visual learner. Then you can connect and authenticate with your GitHub account and drop in your resume so we can accurately evaluate your current skill level. Then you can press generate right now. So while that loads, what's happening under the hood? Our app puts all that data inside of a smart, connected map. Why? Because some skills come before learning other skills. You won't learn neural networks before you learn Python. And here it is, the map. You can clearly see all the topics, and you can click on each node to see its subtopics. But now that you know the big overall roadmap, what are the actionable steps the user can take? This brings us to daily tasks. For each task, we gather real resources. Instead of our AI hallucinating some fake documentation, we use DuckDuckGo's search engine to pull real, live links. And we filter them to only get high-quality, interactive, educational sites. Then, using these resources, we create different types of tasks like coding, projects, and quizzes, all tailored to your needs. And as you complete each task and capstone project, we automatically update your resume and generate each bullet point to be as ATS-friendly as possible. Then, to see all of your progress in one place, we have the dashboard, where you can see all of your past generated roadmaps, your current streak, how well you compare to your friends, and your XP. This is where it gets fun. You can use that XP to buy custom themes, badges, and skins to flex your progress and customize your character. This is the power of data-driven learning. We eliminate the guesswork and hallucination so you can focus on actually getting hired.
Now that you've seen our live demo, let's actually check out the technology we use to power this thing. For our tech stack, we use Next.js for our front end, Fast API for our back end, PostgreSQL and Neo4j to store data and map out to relationships. For our AI-driven task generation, we use Gemini API. And finally, we use AWS for industry standard deployment.
Along the way, we faced many challenges. Our front-end challenge was balancing gamification with professionalism. Since our app generates personalized roadmaps, it needs to feel engaging while still being credible. Gamified features make the experience interesting. However, it introduced clutter and made the navigation harder. To address this, we incorporated a pixelated visual style with a clean, modern color scheme, keeping the interface engaging while still maintaining clarity, usability, and a professional feel.
Our biggest backend challenge was tracking users' understanding of a concept over time. To combat this, we track user progression like task completion, performance, and intervals of repetition. We then feed this data into a modified SM2 model that helps dynamically adjust our skill setting over time. This gives for a more personalized field to determine when and how often a user should revisit a specific skill.
When comparing learning platforms, we found clear gaps. Roadmap SH offers visual learning paths, but does not consider your personalized GitHub or resume. YouTube offers learning content, but lacks progress tracking. FreeCodeCamp tracks your progress, but has an inflexible and generic curriculum. Roadmap fills all of these gaps by creating personalized roadmaps, actionable tasks, and clearly tracks your progress, all in one place.
We're planning to make Roadmap even smarter and more engaging. First, a company matching tool where users can target companies where they'll actually thrive. And second, a competitive learning system where users can track their goals alongside others. So,
use our app,
fill in the gap, get hired ASAP.
Follow the roadmap.
Question for you. Fortune. Can you explain what's wrong and how you used it in your knowledge graph?
Yeah, I can take this question. So Neo4j is the platform that we use to have the knowledge graph. And the reason why we chose a knowledge graph is because it has the ability to store all the different relationships between these skills. And that's very important because skills are connected to each other. If you know this skill, there's a high chance you know that skill, for example. And Neo4j is just a really good way of us to store all of those relationships. And so that's why we chose Neo4j.
Gotcha. And since you have the Gemini layer added to it, did you guys utilize anything with the Neo4j MCP, maybe to create your Cypher queries, anything like that?
No, we just use Gemini API to do all of the logic, all of the personalization for the user, and all of that, yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Great presentation. Love the visual design.
Thank you.
And if you ever want to continue this project in the future, definitely check it out for the Neo4j MCP. If you have an LLM layer that kind of makes those cipher queries for you, takes it a step further and helps refine it so it looks at your knowledge graph and really knows the differences between the nodes and relationships and entities. So yeah, other than that, good job.
Thank you.
Really cool project. I was wondering, for a user who is more advanced at a skill and is about no longer a beginner for the application, how does the system adjust to their skill level?
I can take this question too. So in the first onboarding stage, you can see that we had a GitHub authentication and also the resume parsing. We use all of that to determine the user current skill. And so after we get all the repos, all the commits, and all of their resume bullet points, that generates its own graph. And then based on that graph, and based on the graph that we already have for that goal career that they want, we prune off things they already know. So what's left is already things they don't know and that they can learn to progress in their career.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Thank you, judges. That is all the time we have right now. All right, next up, Team Tagit.
100 unread emails? You're missing assignment! Stop! Stop! Help! What am I gonna do?
Stop! You sounded like you needed some help.
Yes, please.
Have you tried Tagit?
Tagit? What's Tagit?
Tagit is a Chrome extension that is designed to help you manage your emails by turning your inbox into clear, actionable items. Your emails can turn cluttery very easily. Those assignments, deadlines, and interviews, you shouldn't be missing any of these just because they're piled up under a bunch of emails. And that's why we made Tagit. Good evening, everybody. I'm Sneha.
I'm Aryan.
I'm Peyton.
I'm Ankita.
And I'm Hayden.
And we're Team Tagit.
Our first feature is our email summarization and categorization. Tagit automatically generates one-sentence summaries and personalized tags based on categories you choose, helping you better understand and prioritize your inbox.
Another AI-powered feature is tagging emails with event dates and deadlines. Tagit places these scheduled emails into our calendar system so that we can keep you up to date, not just every day, but every week and every month.
Meet Tagit, your new best friend that'll help you stay organized and be on top of your schedule. Tagit gives you quick reminders of your upcoming events and tasks so you know what's coming next. You can also ask Tagit questions about your schedule, such as, how does my week look? Or how many tasks do I have to complete today? And Tagit will bring that all into one clear view.
All those features sound great, but how do they work?
Great question, Hayden. Let's take a look at how Tagit really works. Right after I open Tagit, I can see that I have an urgent email. A final round interview for Technova. But I don't have the time to read through its paragraphs or corporate jargon. So by simply hovering over the message, I can see that Tagit gave me a crystal clear AI-generated summary. Now I know exactly what I need to do. Confirm my attendance and take a coding assessment. And without Tagit, I would have to take time out of my day to write a professional response. But Tagit makes it simple. Tagit can automatically identify this email requires a response, and with a simple click, can generate a professional and personal email response accepting the interview. And if you look at the rest of my inbox, you can see that everything is color-coded to the tags I created when I created the account. But with summer coming up, I want to focus more on my job search other than my classes. So I can simply go into my settings and change my number 1 from classes to internships. And instantly, you can see that my entire inbox has been reordered to better match my goals. Tagit revolves around you, not the other way around. But Tagit is more than just message sorting. Here on the calendar, we can see that Tagit automatically extracted the Zoom link and the meeting time from my Technova interview tomorrow. 2 p.m. tomorrow, got it. And on the tasks page, we can see that I need to do my HackerRank coding assessment. And I have added this directly to my to-do list, which is prioritized from highest importance to lowest importance. But having all these different things, it might be overwhelming for you to connect the dots. So we can ask Tagit, your world tour best friend, on what to do. I'm going to ask Tagit to help me plan today. Tagit is a RAG-based architecture, so we know that all your responses will be personalized and read very quickly. Thanks, Tagit. That looks like a great plan. Looks like I need to prioritize on my studying and completing my coding assessment, so I'm fully prepared for my interview tomorrow. Another thing, Tagit just doesn't manage your inbox. It manages your time. Now that we've seen how to use Tagit, let's see how it was made.
Our tech stack features a React frontend and a Python-based backend that connects users to Tagit to process Gmail and Outlook data. We store structured email data in MongoDB and shows the Gemini API to power our AI features due to its large context window, allowing Tagit to understand your entire inbox and transform your emails into organized insights.
Most of the tools today are built to help you understand your inbox. Microsoft Copilot in Gmail helps you organize your emails, create summaries, reply to drafts, and keep you in the loop. Platforms like Fixer takes a step forward by adding tags to your emails. But even with all this, you're still left wondering what to actually do next. And that's where Tagit steps in. Tagit doesn't just summarize and organize. It takes a step forward by turning your emails into tasks and calendar events based on your preferences. So you're spending less time planning and more time getting things done.
The main issue we encountered with our friend was with the layout of our extension. We had originally designed a small pop-up window, but quickly realized it didn't display enough information to users at once. To fix this, we switched to a sidebar extension, which improved our readability and gave you much more space to work with. For our backend, the main thing we struggled with was with our spam detection system. Our AI was misplacing promotional emails in both our tasks and calendar pages. So to fix this, we gave our AI better context awareness and stricter rules, ensuring that you have more time to focus on the emails that really matter.
Our main future goal is to make Tagit more connected and easier to use. We'll expand beyond email by integrating tools like Canvas and e-learning so that tasks and events from different places all show up in one central view. Along with this, Tagit will introduce AI-powered tagging that learns from the emails you regularly read and respond to. It'll automatically create and update tags to keep your inbox organized based on your habits.
Wow, this is amazing! Tagit just showed me the interview I have coming up. Guess I gotta prepare for it.
So, remember guys, the next time you have a pile of emails in front of you, don't just read it.
Tag it.
Good demo. I have one question though. It looks like is it safe to say that it's limited to Gmail only, and or are you able to use it with other email platforms?
So we build it so you can connect any Gmail account or Outlook account. And if you do have an Outlook account connected, it will show a little Outlook emoji on the top, and you can connect up to 10 accounts on our page.
And follow-up question. So what would it take to extend the solution to where it could be, run against other mail hosting providers?
So we can add other mail providers by adding their authentication. So by setting up like Yahoo email or Hotmail.com, we can simply add this.
Then do you actually instrument the email client, or do you reach into the server? How does it talk to the actual email? How does it get that?
The main way we're getting the emails is we're accessing the email provider's APIs, and through that we can parse the emails to our AI.
Okay, very good, thank you.
So you guys said that you're compatible with Outlook as well, right? What would you say is your selling point against maybe the Outlook agent that does summarization, adds in rules for you, and things like that?
So when you look at Outlook, I think you're talking about the Copilot, right? So Copilot, you have to do a manual effort. Like you have to tell it to add calendar events or like summarize emails. But when you take Tagit, you don't have to manually do anything because it's going to automatically summarize the tasks and calendar events based on it.
Okay. And I may have missed this in the demo, but for any events that you create, can you ask the chatbot to perhaps give reminders beforehand or add any Google Meet links, anything like that?
Yes, you can ask it to create calendar events and everything, and it can automatically add it to it. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you.
All the time we have right now for questions. Thank you so much. Right, next up, Agentic Detective.
Which cases do you accept?
I claim this case. I claim this case. I claim this case.
Do you wish to accept the duties of working with the Agentic Detective Bureau?
I do.
Whoa, that was so cool! I wish I could play a game about one of these cases. I'm so tired of playing the same game over and over again. It gets so boring and repetitive.
Agentic Detective is our solution to this problem. It's an AI-powered murder mystery game that allows you to customize and generate every game you play. Hi, I'm Agent Ermi.
I'm Agent Nandi.
I'm Agent Swarna.
And I'm Agent Ryan. Now let's see Agentic Detective in action. Take it away, Ermi.
Welcome to your first day on the job, detectives. For your first case, let the pros show you how it's done. Here, you can start a new case, bring back an archived case file, or work on cases solved by other detectives. All right, rookies, let's start our first case. While we wait, suspects are being brought in and the crime scene is being analyzed. Ooh, it looks like we got our case report. Let's see what we're dealing with here. So it looks like the person who died is, wait, our PM Muhammad? And he died in this room? by a textbook? And the person who owns the textbook is our Vice President Mercedes? This isn't your average case, detectives, and I need all hands on deck. This is your desk. You'll have everything you need here to solve the case. For now, let's use our phone to call up our suspects and interrogate them. Agent Ryan, show them the ropes.
This is our interrogation room. Here you can interrogate each suspect to extract details about the murder. You can also open up the suspect's profile to see how they're related to the case and jot down any important notes on your notepad. I hope you've been paying attention, because as you recall from the case report, it looks like the owner of the murder weapon was Mercedes. So let's start off by interrogating her. Your name was in the textbook used to kill Muhammad. Care to explain?
I wasn't there. I gave Sohani the book after history class and went home. She said it was to study.
Based on what Mercedes just revealed, it looks like our new primary suspect is now Suhani. So let's Claude to her. Mercedes told me she let you, the textbook, used to kill Muhammad. Do you have anything to say about that?
Mercedes and I have history. I borrowed her book to study, but Adarsh asked for it mid-prep and disappeared.
Thank you, Sahani. I'll jot that down. Oh, take note, detectives. Throughout the interrogation, the agency will receive updates about the case through the mail. Opening it might even let you discover a new clue. It looks like forensics sent us a photo of the crime scene. Let's take a closer look at this. Look, are those footprints? Let's head over to our clue board and examine it further. Opening the clue, we see that the murderer's footprints were extremely large, meaning it could be Elijah or Adarsh. However, if you recall from your notes and what Suhani revealed, it all points to Adarsh being behind this crime. So let's open up our evidence locker and show him the clue we found. Suhani told me you had the textbook last. All the evidence points to you. Just fess up, Adarsh.
I can't hide it. I took Suhani's book, found Muhammad, and hit him. I panicked. I couldn't let his team win. I'm sorry.
Ha ha ha! I caught you red-handed. Now, let's head over to our holding cell and finally avenge our PM Muhammad. Bye-bye, Adarsh. Booyah! Now that we cracked the case, let's see exactly how we built our game.
Agentic Detective uses a React frontend using hand-drawn assets to create a retro UI. An Express backend ties everything together by using Claude's API for story generation. Every suspect is matched with a unique 11 Labs voice ID using our custom MCP server. We also use MongoDB and Clerk user authentication to allow the players to save and resume their cases. Due to the complexity of our game, implementing this tech stack came with its fair share of challenges.
For case generation, although we initially used the Gemini API, its tendency to generate repetitive suspect names like Silas Thorne and murder weapons like death by poisoning led us to switch to using Claude instead. On the design side, our main goal was to immerse players into feeling like a real detective, and naturally, translating that onto the actual pages was pretty difficult. This, however, was rectified through frequent revisions of nearly every single page and extensive discussions about the overall theme of the game.
Although many games explore the murder mystery genre, very few offer a truly dynamic experience. Games like Clue or Disco Elysium rely on a fixed storyline and offer finite player agency. But Agentic Detective comes up with a new case every single time you play it. Now, let's take a look at what's next for the game.
In the future, a feature we are most excited to implement would be NPC interactions. Right now, the only character interactions in the game are between you and the suspects. But imagine how much more elevated the gameplay would be if suspects were able to interact with each other, either by coordinating their alibis or even throwing other characters under the bus. It would certainly add a level of intricacy to the storyline.
And with that, detectives, case closed.
Okay, before I kick off, I love the game interface. You did an amazing job. Maybe I missed this in the UI, but like, do you guys have any sort of like tutorials for like, user if they're new to your game?
I can answer this one. So in the actual game, we did have a tutorial, but for demo purposes, we decided to remove it so you could see the rest of the UI in a much clearer fashion. But in the actual game, we do have a tutorial. It highlights most of the UIs most of the components and tell you what clicking each component on the desk would lead you to, and also like what other buttons on other pages would direct you to.
Yeah, and since like some cases can be complex depending on the level that you selected, do you guys have a flow where, for example, if a user is stuck and they want like a hint, like do you guys have that?
Sorry, can you elaborate?
So, for example, if they were solving a case, right, and they stuck, what is like their best next step?
Throughout the game, you will receive clues throughout how many interactions you have with the NPCs. These clues help you get more information about the case in order to arrest somebody that you really truly believe. And we also have a few throughout the gameplay, there's a stress mechanic. which allows you to see how they falter when they get more and more stressed, and they might reveal more information throughout that.
Okay. So it looked like you had like the case kind of like already set up and ready to go. Does your product facilitate like generating or seeding a new case with like some background information that you feed it, or how does the case actually get set up?
Yes, that's a great question, and I can take that. So basically, just for the purposes of this demo, the situation was pre-planned, but everything else in the actual game, from generating the case, the story, it's all based on a simple user prompt, and the settings that the user picks, such as easy mode or like what kind of rating they want to go for, like PG-13 for example, and everything after that, from the voice IDs to the character conversations to the clues, everything is selected by an LLM, and it's always going to be a new case no matter what.
All right, judges, thank you so much. That's all the time we have right now. All right, next up, Team Housemates.
Hey, who brought the dish soap? I can't find it in the group chat.
I thought it was my week to buy groceries.
Wait, who owes me $14 for paper towels? I sent the Venmo request 3 weeks ago.
No, you owe me $14. I paid you. You just leave me on.
Yeah, there is, and we built it.
My name is Deidre and I did full stack.
My name is Richard. I did front end, and we
Yeah!
are Housemates, a shared household management app designed to win the chaos of living with other roommates. Using multiple apps at once can be tiring and complicated. Many apps don't talk to each other, and all of them get ignored. Housemates combines multiple apps together into a clean, organized space. Next up, we have the expense ledger. Here you can log down rent, utilities, and groceries. Just assign who's part of that expense, and that's it. Housemates automatically tracks who owes who by using your custom algorithm splitting app and breaks it down per roommate. Crystal clear, no awkward Venmo mat to deal with.
Finally, we have our shopping list page, which is collaborative for all housemates. Simply create a list, add your tasks, and that's it. Now that we've talked through some of the main features, Shugri will take us through a quick demo.
Okay, let's use Housemates to fix the problems we had earlier. I've already created an account, so all we have to do is sign in with our email and password. Once you've signed in, you'll be brought to the home page with 2 main sections. The bottom half is the announcement section, where you can read or write announcements in your household. The top half is the quick access, where you can see the most recent tasks, shopping list items, and expenses at a quick glance. Judging by the view, it doesn't look like anything important is there. Next, let's go onto the task page to see what chores I have. This page holds all the chores for your household with dynamic filters, so you're always seeing up-to-date information. Recently, the house has been stinky. Not because we're CS majors, but because the trash hasn't been taken out. Let's add that task. When we add task, call it take out the trash, make it urgent, and set the date to this Wednesday, as that's when the garbage services come by. Oh, let me also complete this clean kitchen task, since I've already done it. As you can see, it appears right there. Next, let's go on to the shopping list page. The shopping list page holds all the items the household intends to buy, clustered by lists. Let's add a new list called Weekend Shopping. Let's set the price to $100, and let's set the date to this weekend, May 2nd. Now let's add some items. First of all, I definitely know we need paper towels, and if I remember correctly, the price should be around $14. Oh, let me also remove the tomatoes item, since I bought some yesterday. After that, let's go on to the expenses page. The expenses page holds all the expenses for the household. At the top is our intelligent split view, which uses our splitting algorithm to determine how much you owe each person. Right now, Daventry owes me some money, so let's add that. Let's add the expense so that Daventry owes me. Let's set that payment provider to resolve it with to Zelle, and let's set the amount to $14. Now, let's set the split so that Daventry owes me the full amount. Now she'll definitely pay me back. Finally, we have the calendar view, which holds all the time-sensitive items in order by date. I want to plan a party for the end of the semester. Let me use the month view so I have a nice calendar-like view to see which dates are free and which aren't. April seems full. May 1st seems free. Let's mark the party for that day. Now that we've gone over the general user flow, let's dig deeper into the tech stack.
We built our front end using React Native and Expo to create a fast, scalable mobile app that can be used across all platforms. We used Figma to iterate across many designs before finally landing on one that felt right. In the background, we used AWS Cognito to provide user authentication so users could securely access their households without letting any of that complexity bleed into their front-end experience.
For the backend, we used AWS, primarily Lambda functions for route handling, which are made accessible via API gateway. To store application data, we use DynamoDB, and for any asynchronous tasks like expiring overdue chores or for reminders, we used EventBridge.
The problem we're solving isn't new, but our solution is. Split Money is great at tracking expenses, but doesn't track chores, and Our Home is great at tracking chores, but isn't very good at tracking expenses. And most people still use spreadsheets and group chats, which are fragmented, manual, and easy to forget. Our Housemates is the first time all these features live in one place.
Not everything came easy. For the backend, our main issue was that the task page didn't properly expire when the due date came around. So we fixed this by implementing EventBridge in AWS. For the front end, we were torn apart on how to make the UI more intriguing to the users. So we decided to opt in for a much more warm color tone and make the app have a modern look to make it more user-friendly and to make users feel at home.
We have so much more we'd love to add. Some of our stretch goals include push notifications for overdue tasks, analytics dashboard for fairness tracking, AI analysis of expenses, and direct integration with payment providers like Venmo or Zelle.
Housemates was built around one main idea, managing your home from the palm of your hand. Now, Sharpie won't have to keep bugging me about paying him back for the groceries, and I can finally keep track of all of our household chores. Sharing a home is difficult enough, so quit the juggling act and use Housemates. Thank you so much for your time.
Amazing presentation, you guys. I really loved the idea of it. Just wondering if you have conducted any usability testing and see if how the user flow works for actual users.
I can take this question, thank you. We asked a lot of people, especially because a lot of us are freshmen who are living in dorms for the first time, living with people for the first time. We used some of our friends as experience. So we asked them, hey, what issues did you have? I know a personal story. Some of my friends' roommates, they would refuse to take out the trash, which is why specifically the example was take out the trash. We use our friends' experiences living in the UTD dorms as a launching point for what issues do we really need to fix and focus our product design on that.
Maybe I didn't catch this during the presentation, but for time-sensitive items, for example, you need to take the trash by tomorrow. So what happens to the item when it expires for the front end?
I can take this question. So you said for the front end, yeah?
Yeah. So what would the user see when that item expires? What is the experience of that?
It should show up in our quick access view. Beyond the date sorting, urgent messages go all automatically to the top, so the user should be able to see it there as well as in the other fields. And as for when it becomes overdue, with our automatic smart chore rotation, it automatically will assign itself to the next person so that it keeps the order.
So can you clarify, is there logic in place to make sure that the same person isn't always on trash duty?
I'll take this question. Yes. So we didn't really get time to show in the demo, but we have it so that if you set multiple people for a task, person A will complete it this week, and then if person A completes it, then B will be the next person to sign to. Then A, then B, so it will automatically rotate because that's what we found is though we're often the schedules for cleaning. Like in my household, each person has clean duty this date, and then if they miss it, it will stick to them until they complete it, in which case we move on to the next person.
And then, did you explore the possibility, the feasibility of incorporating like any agentic solutions to kind of maybe automate things like purchases or bill pay?
I'll take this question. Yes, we actually looked into ChatGPT as a ChatGPT shopping feature. I looked into the Agent Commerce Protocol, but unfortunately all the OpenAI documentation was for vendors, not for users. So they don't have documentation on how to put your items there, but not how to buy it. And so the next solution that I looked into was an MCP server. However, I got some of the functionality working, but I realized that it was against the TOS of multiple of the stores to like automatically scrape it. And so if we were to make this like a big product and we had like industry backing, we could potentially reach a brand deal with someone like Target and say, hey, we'll give you direct access to our users, then they'll like, the shopping list will automatically show prices and have like a one-click buy button directly for Target users.
Hey, what are you doing?
I'm coding the assignment one for our computer science 2 class.
Still, I ChatGPT that whole thing. I finished weeks ago.
Wait, how can you do that? You don't know that we have a call with Verbalize?
A call? Uh-oh.
1 week later.
As for TA, I'm so proud of you, Hui. This assignment got a 99. You got a 30, you failed, and I think you know why. But do you know why?
I'm Hui, I go on the front end.
I'm Lee, and work for Full Stack, and we are Verbalize.
I know that many of you guys wonder what is Verbalize and how can it be that powerful. Well, Verbalize is a design application for the professors that can help them to determine the student understanding of the submitted code. To say that easy way, you check your code or you do it by yourself, Verbalize can know it. Lee, what are our main features?
So, directly into our main features, our system supports bulk uploads, so the professor can upload all student submissions in just a minute. And after that, our backend will analyze each student's logic to generate unique code-specific questions. And we also leverage the Twilio and NerdWise to automate phone calls and transcriptions directly into our database. But the data is only half the part.
One of our other core features is the automated grading, where we generate a conference score based on the student response in the transcript. Additionally, beyond just a single grade, we also show student understanding over time. Professors can view these trends and revisit concepts that trouble the class. Now, let's move on to our demo.
So this is our main page. For a professor to log in, they can choose to use their UTD account or use their personal account and sign in with Google. Once we're logged in, this is our dashboard. The professor can see all the courses they're currently enrolled in. In order to create a course, all they need to do is hit the plus button and upload their student CSV file. Now let's take a closer look at the courses. Inside of the course, we have all of the assignments the professor has created. In order to create an assignment, all they need to do is upload the instructions PDF and a zip file of student submissions. From here, we can move on to the Students tab, and we can actually see the student code submission for each assignment, so we know exactly what AI is analyzing. From here, all the professor needs to do is go back to the assignments page and click the email button, and from there, Verbalize takes over. Verbalize sends a unique email with a unique PIN to all the students, so we know exactly who's calling.
Welcome to Verbalize. Please enter your 4-digit PIN code using your keypad. PIN verified. Let's begin your assessment. Question 1. What happens when your code accesses an array indexed out of bounds?
It throws an error.
Response recorded. Question 2. Please explain the difference between a local variable and a global variable.
A local variable can only be used within one segment of the code, while a global variable can be used throughout the entire program.
Response recorded. Assessment complete. Thank you.
Now that we finished our assessment, the results get sent straight to Verbalize, and the professor can actually view the transcript of the call, so we know exactly what was said.
Next, we can move on to the grades page where we have a confidence score assigned to each question. So we know what questions we did well in and not so well in. From here, we can move on to the graphical dashboard and view trends throughout the course for each assignment. So we know where the learning gaps are and where things need to be changed. Now let's take a closer look at our tech stack.
Okay, so for our tech stack, we use a high-performance flow starting with Next.js and Superbase for full-stack architecture and database. Following this, we use Twilio SendGrid to automate email delivery to all the students and Twilio Voice for a voice interface during live calls. Connecting all of this is a Grok router with an OpenAI model that generates student-specific questions and conference scores.
So why Verbalize? Right now on the market, the only two applications that professors generally use are Turnitin and Code Query, but both are pretty ineffective at detecting AI in code. The only verbal assessment option available is a Socratic mind, but it requires professors to create their own questions and doesn't have code-specific questions, which wastes professors' valuable time. Verbalize is the only application on the market that has all of these features and fills a unique niche at UTD so professors can maximize student understanding while saving time.
Building Verbalize requires us to tackle a few key challenges, and for the front end is building a modern but functional UI. We had to optimize the React stage management for real-time matching with Safeway while maintaining a good layout. And for UI, we want to make sure that it's intuitive for educators, so we refine it based on direct feedback from the professors.
Another challenge we had was with data modeling. In an application with this many complex relationships, it was required to reiterate, test, and design a good schema so that we could fulfill all of the application's requirements.
One of the other challenges that we overcame was AI reliability and AI integration. Originally, we used Gemini, which had issues like inconsistent response formats and conference score. So we made a strategic change to Grok that fixed these issues, but also included stronger response times and lower latency.
Next up, we are aiming on the future, so we're gonna have dynamically interview design and multi-signal gradings and multi-language support. So the professor can control the whole interview flow and change the weight for different questions, and international so that can express their logic more clearly, and for the global classroom. Thank you.
Okay, great job, guys. I was wondering, have you considered the privacy or legal implications of recording students, especially like the call, at what time of day it comes?
So could you elaborate a little more? Do you mean more on the timing of the call or the student information?
Guardrails for both, so the timing of the call as well as accessing permissions to record.
Yeah, so this is all from the professor's side. So the professor is the one who creates the account, and they're the one who ensures that they're the ones who want to use Verbalize. And then what they do is, in the beginning of the course, maybe they grant permission, like a signature from the students, that they agree to this. I know currently in many courses, the TAs are the one who have to schedule appointments and call. So this is an alternate to that, so we can save more time. So getting permission at the beginning of the course will allow us to kind of bypass those privacy issues.
Okay, so I understand that you're the users, the professors. What about the students? Because if they're calling in, right, let's assume they have bad LTE or they're just straight up lying. How are we handling that, and how do you think we can improve the UX of that?
So yeah, I can take this question. So our main kind of checkpoint for the students is obviously the PIN ID, and this verifies their identity. And of course, there's always the challenge, what if someone else takes the call? But ultimately, the student is the one that is completing the assignment that turned in their code, so that's another checkpoint. The person who's answering has to know what the code is talking about. In the future, we're hoping to maybe implement ways that the AI can detect hesitancy or maybe long pauses in case they're searching up something on the side, something like that. But for now, the PIN and then verifying the code-specific questions is our main ways to work.
Gotcha. So the dashboard is only accessible to the professors, or is it also accessible to students?
It's only the professors. The only thing the students are getting is the email with the PIN and the phone number so that they're able to call in.
Okay.
There is a better way. Introducing Thea, Digital Intake Yielding Answers. Thea is a website that helps make homework help more accessible beyond the classroom. Now let's meet the team. My name's Thea. I'm Paulina.
I'm Waldo. And I'm Kevin.
Now let's jump straight into our website. Before you create an account, you might be wondering what to expect. Lucky for you, right here on our website's landing page, if you scroll to the bottom, you can actually view some of Thea's most important features. Let's start with the top 3 student features. Our first student feature is a group forum page that allows students to ask questions and get answers from their peers, professors, and AI. Our second student feature is an office hours request page. Here, students can request to meet with their professors or TAs outside of normal office hours times. Lastly, students have access to our self-check feature, where they can upload an assignment as well as its rubric in order to get an estimated grade and tips for improvement. Now, let's move on to our top 2 admin features. Our first admin feature is a group creation page that allows professors to create a group for any of their classes and invite their students to join. Next, professors have also access to our analytics page, where they gain AI-generated insights on their students' progress.
Now that you know what you're getting yourself into, let's take a look at the student view. You can sign up and create your account, but since I already have an account, I'm just going to log in. I'm really confused about this topic for my class. I'm gonna go join my class group on DA dashboards. Now that I'm on the forum page, I can ask my question. Can you explain Newton's second law? DA AI immediately provides me with an answer, but how do I know this is the explanation my professor expects? I know. My classmates can jump in and help me, and the professor can verify the answer or suggest a better solution. And while I'm waiting for that verification, I'm going to take a look at the related discussions. Maybe a similar problem has already been solved. I'm still really confused after using the forum. I think I might need some real help from my professor. I will go to the office hours page and fill out the request form. And while I'm waiting for my office hours appointment, I want to make sure I did my homework correctly. I will go to the self-check page and upload my completed work along with a grade and rubric. It's so helpful that AI can estimate my grade and give me feedback before I actually submit the assignment.
And I'm the professor for Paulina's class. And I'm going to be looking through the classes and logging through the professor's dashboard. So let's go ahead. First, let's log into the professor's dashboard and go to my physics class. From there, we can mainly look at different features. There are a lot of questions to answer on this form. Let's go ahead and let's click a question on the right. Once we click this question and go in, we can see that the AI answered this question really good. But in order to make it better, I can press verify, and I can also press and make it a custom answer and write my own response to this. Now, we can go to the analytics dashboard. We can see that my class is really struggling with Newton's second law. If we click on the pie chart to the right, we get more insights on how to teach and how to improve my class. Finally, we can go to the appointments feature, and we can see that Paulina requested an appointment. For this, we can see that I can accept this appointment and then go on. Finally, we can go to the calendars page and then see my schedule and then improvise on that.
In our tech stack, for our front end, we built the web app using React and TypeScript and bundled it right for performance. To keep the UI looking clean and consistent, we styled it with Tailwind CSS and leveraged ACM library for our core components. For our authentication, we went with Auth0. For our database, we went completely serverless with a NoSQL database using Firebase. It lets our forms and dashboards update instantly using real-time listeners. Finally, we used the Gemini API, specifically the 2.5 Flash model. It helps us answer questions and does image analysis, in addition to the embedding model, which powers our vector-based semantic search.
Now, every project comes with its own set of challenges, and so did ours. Our main front-end challenge came from organizing the large number of pages we had due to our website having both a student and admin experience. In order to fix this, we created separate sidebars to reflect what each user had to access, making navigation as intuitive as possible.
And as for the backend, we faced issues in making sure the data was consistent in between both the student and admin. To fix this issue, we made sure any group membership updates were written to the database before the user was routed to the page to make sure both the student and admin views remained in sync.
Wonder why you should use DIA instead of existing platforms? Jack doesn't provide real-time assistance, while ChatGPT ignores the syllabus, provides solutions that haven't been covered by a professor, or simply makes mistakes. DIA is the only platform that guarantees an answer while strictly following your specific course guidelines with the professor's verification. And for the professors, forget about low course evaluation rates. Based on coursebook end of semester surveys, a lot of the courses receive below 30% feedback. DIA, on the other hand, tracks live student progress and gives you feedback right when you need it most.
However, we're not done with DIA yet. Some of the future goals that we have are we wanted to use mobile app integration so professors and students can be able to connect on the go. And also we wanted to use LMS integration so we can have platforms like eConnect and Blackboard on our website. So let's light our way to clarity with DIA.
Walk me through your estimated grade logic. How does that work? Is it based on how the course materials from the professor, any past answers?
I can take this one. We're using AI for estimating the grades, and you can upload your completed work along with a grading rubric provided by the professor. It can be an image or just a text, and the AI will be prompted to estimate your grade and give you feedback, while it won't provide you a complete solution to your problem. It's prompt engineered to block the complete solutions. It's just giving you feedback based on the rubric.
Okay, gotcha. And sorry, blanking on this question. Maybe someone else can.
So it basically looks at the the project that you have submitted and grades it. Does it give suggestions to improve it, or what is the idea behind it?
I can take this question. Yeah, once you submit your work, it not only gives you a grade and a score out of 100, it also gives you tips and improvements listed in categories below so that you can upgrade your work and make sure you ace your assignment.
So yeah, I see a lot of potential to extend this into other things. I know you only had 10 weeks. How did you prioritize features to make sure that you're delivering the most impact to whether it be the students or the professors?
I can take this question. We tried to prioritize features that we thought would help connect the professor and the teacher as best as possible. So that's the whole point of DIA. So we really focus on making an option for both the professor and the student to connect via office hours. And we tried to focus on what students and professors want the most. So students really want feedback on their homework. Professors really want to be able to organize all those office hours requests. So we tried to make features that were specific to both users.
Can I get a show of hands? Who here has used AI before? Pretty much everybody. Now, who here has used AI to plan their schedule? Who here has used AI to book a doctor's appointment?
AI booking an appointment? Isn't that a little far-fetched?
No, actually. There are plenty of ways to bridge the gap between AI and whatever services you desire.
But wouldn't all those options slow my model down? What if I just want a regular response?
That's where Helios comes in. Helios cuts out the fluff by keeping your model focused on what you need. Let's walk you through how to get the services you want without dealing with a distracted chatbot. But first, let's meet the team. I'm Hemant.
I'm Vijay.
I'm Raphael.
And I'm Naomi. Before we get into the features, let's review our vocab. First up, what is a tool? A tool is just something your model can do, be it sending an email, making a commit, or posting a JIRA issue. But how does your model actually reach those services? Well, that's through something called an MCP server, a bridge between your model and the tools it's trying to reach.
And now the fun part. Let's show you how Helios makes those bridges. Simply drop in your API spec, and from there, Helios instantly parses through every endpoint, generating a set of tools. No manual entry, no headaches. Just a simple file drop, and your tools are live.
But with hundreds of endpoints in an API spec, how does the model handle all the tools? Helios asks you one thing. What are you trying to do? You type your intent and Helios automatically selects only the tools that match your goal.
After filtering your tools, Helios takes you to a sandbox. From there, you can talk to a chatbot that's connected to a restricted server, letting you safely test its expected responses without the risk of accidentally emailing your professor.
Didn't get the response you wanted? By modifying the tool names and description, you can directly tell your model which tools to use and, more importantly, when to use them.
Let's see Helios through a real workflow. I want a chatbot that can handle all of my scheduling, from reading my calendar all the way to telling people when I'm free. With Helios, we can turn that idea into a real working server in under 2 minutes. Don't believe me? Let's try it out. First, I log in. Once I'm authenticated with Helios, I have a secure place to store my credentials and manage the servers I built. To get started, we'll go ahead and click on Build Your Server. On the left are the servers I created, as well as the servers provided by Helios. For what we want to do, we will select Google Tools, which already contains my Google Calendar. We will add that and head over to the browser where we will search for an API that handles communication. Here, we found Twilio. So let's download that and add it to the right side of our page where we can create our custom tools. While we add that, you may have noticed that each API contains a large number of tools. So if we were to give our agent that as is, it would have to read through all 325 tools for each message sent. So by telling Helios our intent, say, I only want to access my Google Calendar, find my available times, and create some calls, we will be left with only the 3 tools we actually need. I'm happy with that, so let's head over to the sandbox. First, to use our sandbox, we need to insert our security keys. For the sake of time, we've prepared these in advance, but normally you would have to find them in their respective server, usually denoted by the developer version of that service. Once we're done with inserting the keys, we will be able to go to our sandbox and ask the same thing as before, where let's check my Google Calendar and create a call. However, the sandbox is a safe environment, so it only executes GET requests, while all other actions are simulated. That's why the call didn't actually go through. To test our real server, let's name our server right now and move on to our dashboard. Once we're in the dashboard, we'll see our server join the rest of the galaxy. Then we will be able to select it and say the same thing as before, except this time, all actions are unrestricted. So while we're talking, it's actually figuring out which tools to use, and once it's done, it will show that list of tools as well as the parameters passed within it, making it very easy to spot any issues. Oh, sorry, I think I'm getting a call. Let me answer that real quick.
Hi there. Thanks for reaching out. I wanted to touch base about scheduling a time to meet tomorrow. Let me run through my availability so...
We will skip that because it's going to take a while to show when I'm available. But for now, we have one secure way of figuring out how to share my availability.
Now let's see what Helios is actually built on. In our frontend, we have used Next.js and Tailwind CSS. In our backend, we have used Express.js. For our chatbot, we have used Cloud. And finally, MongoDB for storage and Google Vault for authentication.
A challenge we faced on the front end was needing to dynamically prompt the users for credentials based on the API's auth needs. We tackled this by sending forward the auth headers from each API spec during the initial parsing.
While creating the backend, our biggest challenge was needing to find a way to standardize the wide variety of API formats we encountered. To combat this issue, we decided to stick to a standard open API format for our input, ensuring we can read any valid API.
Let's see how Helios shines the brightest. Out of all its other competitors like Postman, which already have the tools of server hosting and individual tool selection, Helios is the only service that lets you have a customizable sandbox and an intent-based tool optimization, making it easy to develop any server.
Looking ahead, we would love to make Helios an environment of collaboration by letting the users share their customized servers across the internet.
Shine as a developer
with Helios.
Thank you.
Is your target audience only developers?
I can take this one. So this application is catered towards developers mainly since we're expecting our users to come in with APIs. So a newcomer to maybe software development will not be able to utilize it to its max. So it's mainly towards developers who already have their own code.
So I have a question about the calls. Since a robot is on one side and there might be a human being on the other, I know right now there's a lot of skepticism with robocalls, right? My first question is, how do you think Helios can help combat that, or do you feel like it is compatible? And secondly, what if the person on the other end hangs up, or it's not very clear what they've said? How do we handle that?
Well, this all depends on what API you choose your MCP server to have, right? In this scenario, we chose Twilio, which is able to call any of my team members and tell them about my availability. This is just a messenger, as in, I want to do this one specific purpose, so here's why I chose Twilio. And it would, if I kept it going, it would have told me everything about how I have class tomorrow and that I'm available from point A to point B. It's just a messenger. However, if you wanted to implement anything else, that's why MCP server generator is so versatile, because it's able to handle any situation. If you have an API for it, we can make an MCP server for it.
Okay, I think I understand more so like if your team members know like I'm a robot calling you, that's fine. But if you're like calling them like to the doctor, right? I guess like what I'm trying to ask you is, okay, well I forgot my question. That stings. But yeah, this is a really creative idea. Thank you guys.
Bro, it's a Tesla.
I'll only charge you 10K.
Raise your hand if a mechanic has ever tried to make you pay for something that you could have done at home. A couple people. Well, that's why y'all need CarCare. Let's go ahead and meet the mechanics behind CarCare. My name is Maddie Quinn, and I'm a front-end developer.
My name is Vaishnavi, and I'm a front-end developer.
My name is Carl, and I'm a back-end developer.
My name is Pranav, and I'm a back-end developer.
My name is Rudra, and I'm a back-end developer.
So what is CarCare? CarCare is a smart vehicle management app designed to act as your personal mechanic in your pocket and more. It allows the user to stay on top of all of their vehicle's maintenance needs through a personalized timeline, and even reminds the user for any upcoming appointments or events. Also, through our scan feature with our OCR, the user can scan any features and defects on their car, making it easier to analyze, as well as also being able to scan documents or receipts, turning them into accessible records and making it easier to access in the future, as well as planning future appointments in a timely manner.
For the first feature of CarCare, CarCare uses computer vision to analyze potential issues and then gives AI-driven feedbacks like DIY recommendations, service recommendations, and DIY guidance. CarCare also uses OCR to manually extract text data and then sends that data directly to the service timeline.
All of this data is seamlessly integrated into our service timeline, where the user's data that's stored in Firebase is shown here, and the user can track any maintenance needs that the car may have. Next up, we have our CarCare Assistant. Our CarCare Assistant is powered by an OpenAI API and can answer any questions that the user may have or give any recommendations about their specific car. Since our AI has access to the car's VIN number, it can give the user more tailored advice and better answers. And unlike me and Carl that drove up the prices, the AI will always give unbiased answers to the user.
Now let's roll into our demo. At the launch page, this is where the user will be able to get started and log in and create an account. When creating an account, the user will enter their email and password, and that information is going to get stored into our Firebase database that will store that information, so whenever the user does create an account and log in, it'll save that. Next up, the user will go ahead and enter their VIN number, where it'll take the VIN number and all the information like the car's make, model, and number. Next, the user will be able to then use a car nickname and nickname their car. For this instance, we're going to name it My Civic, or that'll then take you to our garage and then to our launch page. You have our 3 modules up ahead. First, our AAA helpline, where you'll be able to call them for any emergencies that you have on the road. Second, we have our nearest mechanic, where we'll use your location to then find the nearest mechanic near you. And thirdly, we have our scan feature, where we'll be able to scan documentation or car issues that you have with your vehicle. When scanning car issues, it'll take that issue, scan it, and then provide you with any DIY tips or YouTube APIs to help you with your video. Then we also have our documentation scanner. Whenever you scan the documentation from the mechanic, it'll take that information and then take it to the service line where it'll organize it chronologically and by priority. Once going into the service timeline, you see the priority where it's scanned. Red meaning you have to do that pretty quickly, while green meaning you still have some more time to go ahead and fix it. It'll also give you a price where it'll be estimated by our OpenAI API as well. From there, we also have our CarCare assistant. With that CarCare assistant, it'll take the information from your car so you can ask any questions and it'll provide you an answer with that as well. For the settings, we have our garage management where you'll be able to edit the name and change any feature that you have with that as well. And then you'll be able to log out from the page as well.
Looking at the gears behind CarCare, on the front end side, we use React Native for a real app experience, and then throw in a little bit of TypeScript and CSS to keep everything looking nice.
And on the back end, we use Spring Boot as a base. We use Firebase to store our users' username, password, and details, including the make, model, and year of the car, as well as OpenAI APIs, Gemini API, Bin API, and Google Maps API.
On the front end, we had trouble displaying scan results as multiple APIs running on the same page. But we were able to address this issue by correctly mapping each API response to the right UI component.
And on the backend side, we ran into issues ensuring that each page would have access to the user's bin details, as well as we also encountered limitations while trying to render a stretch goal of using a bin detail to render a 3D and interactive model.
And now moving on to our future goals. The first goal we have is a recall notification. How this would work is it will take the user's VIN number and see if there's any current safety recalls on that specific car, and if there are, it would notify the user to ensure their safety. The next one is a 3D render. For this, the user would be able to edit their car, give it a color, a livery, and it would make the app overall more interactive.
Taking a look at our main competitors, Carfax and My Firestone app. All these apps support every vehicle type, but where they come in short is their AI integration under advocacy for at-home solutions. At CarCare, we use AI to get straight to the point and advocate at-home solutions for cost optimization. Thank you so much for listening to us. If you don't care about your car,
CarCare will.
All right. So, I still thought I used to own a shop, so I know a little bit about this industry. In your opening, you kind of hinted about potentially the app telling the user, what a good price or a good estimate would be. How are you able to, or how's your app able to do something like estimate the price of an oil change based on what it knows working backwards from what they know?
I can take this question. When answering that question, what it does is it takes that OpenAI link or API that we have, and it'll just do a general basis of the price. So also with the VIN number that you have. So if you have a Honda, it'll give you the general price for a Honda.
Okay, but so if we take Honda, V4 versus V6 is going to use potentially different amount of oil. How are you taking that into account?
Into your VIN number, it has all the information from the engine type. So it'll take that and then estimate it based on that.
Okay, but is it? I mean, what's it using for its knowledge base? Is it using, the manual from the OEM, or how is it able to get the service interval timelines and the fluid requirements in terms of amount, quarts of oil and things like that?
That's all going to be provided from our VIN API that decodes all that information and then sends it to our app.
Does it integrate with the engine codes? Like when you get check engine light, there's a code that you can get. Do you know about that? Does it integrate with that at all?
Yes, I understand that, but our app, this gain feature is more for general issues that the user may encounter, and our like LLM will give them general advice instead of like hooking up a device and getting specific answers to the specific problem. It's more for general advice.
How many of you use AI to study? You? Me too. Remember that time before AI? That struggle, that friction? That's desirable difficulty. It's where we used to experience real learning. But somewhere along the way, we lost that. So we built Socratic to bring that thinking back to you where it belongs.
So what exactly did we build? An AI study companion powered by our depth engine, evaluating every question on its thoughtfulness. But we didn't just stop at a chatbot. Designed specifically for college students, all you need to do is upload your syllabus, and a complete personalized learning space is generated for your class. Now let's meet the team. I'm Snigdha.
I'm John.
I'm Akash.
I'm Miriam, and this is our friend Socrates, here to guide you on your learning journey.
Which all starts with our depth engine, analyzing your questions for relevance and critical thinking, scoring nuanced questions higher over surface level ones. Every question you ask is also measured on your study heat map, showing your intellectual engagement over time.
And remember that syllabus you uploaded? Socratic automatically pulls your assignments and exams to create Google Calendar events, so you never miss a deadline again. And when it's time to study with others, you can launch a Google Meet session with your friends right within the platform.
The best motivation is a little competition, so we made it part of the experience. Earn XP, maintain your streak, and unlock achievements. See where you rank on the leaderboard, share progress with your friends, and turn studying into a shared goal.
Imagine, it's 10 p.m., our stat final is next week, and we have no idea what to study. Meanwhile, we've had that syllabus for our digital logic summer class sitting in our downloads, no clue what the workload looks like. 2 problems, 3 minutes, let's see Socratic in action. We'll start by logging in with Google OAuth as a returning user and land on our dashboard, our classes, and overall study activity all in one place. First, let's take care of that summer class. Give it a name, upload our syllabus, and have Socratic extract all that data. But I'm really worried about that stats final. We should probably start studying. Our class page shows that we are struggling with the central limit theorem, so let's focus on that. We've already uploaded our lecture notes in the course materials section. This keeps Socrates grounded, using a RAG pipeline to pull actual class content. Now let's ask him for some help. Wait, do y'all hear that? Oh, Socrates! There you are, Socrates. I'm really worried about the stats final. You think you can help me out? Awesome. To start, what is the central limit theorem? So we're going to give Socrates some time to think so he can come up with the best possible answer. And unfortunately, we got a low depth score. But that's because we asked a pretty surface level question. Let's try asking something a little more insightful. Oh, Socrates, why is the sample size cut off for the central limit theorem 30? What if I use 25? Again, Socrates is going to think using that RAG pipeline to pull whatever thinks is useful, and just like that, we got a depth score of 5. But you can see he pulled actual class content. Thank you, Socrates. You can go back to sleep now. Those depth scores we just got, they live here in our study heat map, with darker squares indicating deeper thinking. So by exam day, this doesn't just show that we studied, it shows how well we studied. I'm starting to feel a lot more confident for this exam now. Let's go check up on that digital logic class. And there's problem 2 handled. Exam dates are logged in, key topics are laid out, we know exactly what we're walking into. Well, I wonder what my friends are up to. Our social page shows our achievements, our overall progress, as well as any upcoming meetings we have. And would you look at that? We have a meeting set up with Ethan. Let's go ahead and join. Man, I heard he's really smart about this stuff. Socrates, what are you doing here? Can't you see we're trying to work? All right, we'll catch up later, pal. Let's wrap things up with our profile page. This is going to be a snapshot of your overall progress, achievements, and anything else you've done throughout the hack. It's your whole study life at a glance. 2 problems solved, 1 smarter way to study, that's Socratic.
Now, let's talk about what's powering it all. The front end is built on Next.js, React, and Tailwind. Behind that sits an Express and Node.js server deployed on AWS EC2, with all user data securely stored in a Postgres database on AWS RDS. And driving our AI features, we have Gemini, LangChain, and Python.
On the back end, our biggest challenge was with document chunking. Too small and the AI gave shallow responses. Too large and we hit Gemini's rate limit. We solved this by carefully tuning our LangChain integration until we found the optimal chunk size, leaving our responses deep without overwhelming the API.
And on the front end, our main challenge was creating a UI that felt focused and intentional, as the initial design felt disjointed. After gathering user feedback, we redid our interface to incorporate a bento box layout, which encouraged deeper thinking and learning.
Today's study tools each do one thing well, but fall short everywhere else. ChatGPT can study your materials, but doesn't track your growth. Quizlet lets you study your own sets and measures your progress, but focuses mainly on memorization and doesn't encourage critical thinking. Socratic is the only platform that brings it all together. Personalized to your courses, designed around your growth, and driven by how deeply you think.
Looking ahead, we're taking the social side of Socratic further, with real-time multiplayer games and group study challenges. Our long-term goal is for Socratic to go beyond just a study platform and into a full academic community for college students. Don't let your learning be erratic. Lock in with Socratic!
No questions. Just wanted to give thanks to your branding, your presentation, the little model, and even the tagline. Really good job.
Thank you.
Did y'all use ACM for that front end? It's all handmade? Like, just CSS?
No, yeah, we didn't use ACM. We just used Tailwind and React.
Tailwind and React. That UI is really pretty. Huge props for the design.
Thank you.
I think this might be the first relational database that we've seen so far. Tell me a little bit more about that and like kind of your data model.
Right, so the data we were trying to store, we needed relationships. So if a user had a specific class, so it wouldn't affect any other user's class. So we used a Postgres SQL relational database so we could store that information unique for each user.
Okay, so that was a conscious decision, or did you explore NoSQL options?
So we actually chose right off the bat to use a relational database because we knew what data we wanted to work with. So that was just the best fitting for our project.
I guess in the future, if you ever want to look at, what's it called, the complexity of the questions, have you guys explored graph databases? Would you be interested in doing so?
We actually looked into that, but for our time management, we didn't really have a lot of time to work with it. But in the future, when we work on developing the app further, we will look into a graph database.
Okay, exciting stuff. Love it.
Guys, we did it! We graduated! 4 years and we're finally here!
Wait, before we split up, I made y'all some handwritten cards.
This is taking way too long. While she's trying to find her cards, let me introduce myself. I'm Gashish and I'm a backend developer.
I'm Harleen and I'm a front-end developer.
I'm Gia and I'm a full stack developer.
I'm Teju and I'm a full stack developer. We built Memoir so that these moments aren't just saved for a while. They're saved, searchable, and permanent and can travel with us wherever we go next.
A few cards lost in a few years might seem small, but think about a lifetime of these moments. These memories deserve better than being lost in a box or forgotten forever.
And sometimes it's entirely out of your hands. Last year, the Palestine fires tore through LA, causing people like 91-year-old Dale Shore to lose 60 years with the photos, cards, and letters in just hours.
That story is heartbreaking, but it reminds us that memories are fragile. They deserve to be preserved, shared, and created.
And here's how Memoir makes that possible. Start by pointing your camera at any handwritten card, and Memoir starts extracting and transcribing the text, automatically tagging each scan by theme, keeping your cards digitized and safe.
Once your cards are saved, you can put them in bulletin boards where you can add cards, GIFs, music, and stickers to make each board feel personal and alive. But what if you didn't just store memories? What if you created them?
Luckily, you can also create new ones. Start from scratch or choose a generated template based on occasion or feeling, and then fully customize it however you want through fonts, stickers, and backgrounds.
I found the card!
Awesome, let's go ahead and put it in Memoir. When we first opened the app, we're greeted with an envelope animation. Let's jump right in and get started. Once I'm in, I can view all my saved memories at a glance in my timeline. Now, let's go ahead and add this one to the collection. We're going to start off by uploading a picture of our card. Then we're going to select today's date. Now, we're going to keep it simple and title it grad card for now. Next, we can look through my saved folders and pick one for the occasion. Let's go with graduation cards for now. Now, once that's done, it's just going to take a second to process everything. Scanning your card, extracting your text, and tagging it. Meanwhile, I can go ahead and add a little caption about our day.
Like how you almost lost your diploma?
That was one time.
You only get one diploma.
Moving on. Just like that, it's all here. The image, the transferred text, and all the tags in one place. But it's not just a picture of your card. It's a living memory. This brings us to the bulletin board. Think of this as your personalized creative space where you can organize by life's big milestones. Graduations, birthdays, trips. You can even layer in your own personality. Throw in a funny gift, a sticker describing your day, or even add the music that was playing when you first opened the card. Now, that's how you preserve a memory. But Memoir isn't just about looking back. You can create a fully personalized card from scratch. We know that starting from a blank empty page might be very scary. So, we made that first step for you very easy. You can select from our pre-made templates for each occasion, or you can prompt the AI with specific requirements to generate a template you can edit, saving you time while still keeping it personal. Once I select a template I really like, I can organize its contents, add a few more stickers, a funny title, a caption describing it, and once it looks exactly how I want it, I can send it directly to someone I love. For example, I'm going to send this card to my best friend Kasish. And our conversation doesn't just end here. It continues even when we're thousands of miles apart.
Girl, be honest. Don't been gatekeeping this for me.
Not gatekeeping. I just need enough memories to make my profile look interesting. Now, let's talk about how Memoir works behind the scenes.
We built Memoir using React Native and Expo. On the back end, Flask powers server-side logic while Superbase handles secure data storage and user authentication. We also integrated multimedia APIs like Spotify and Giphy to let users fully personalize their boards.
Microsoft's TROCR and Google Cloud Vision allows Memoir to create accurate transcriptions for your cards, and we utilize OpenAI for automatic tagging.
On the front end, our biggest challenge was balancing a modern UI with our vintage scrapbook theme, which we're finally able to land on after conducting UX surveys.
On our back end, our biggest hurdle was with highly detailed cards, where the TRCR model struggled with text detection and slow processing time. To solve this, our system falls back on the Google Cloud Vision for transcription.
Looking at our competitors, Pinterest collects but doesn't preserve your memories. PhotoMine preserves but doesn't allow for personalization. Canva creates but has no way to organize your memories. Memoir does all three by letting you preserve, personalize, and organize.
From here, we have two main goals for Memoir. First, to introduce a shared space to contribute and view cards together, and to add scheduled card sending where users can set reminders to send out cards.
Graduation marks the time for painful goodbyes.
But that doesn't mean we have to leave our precious memories behind.
Oh, look at that. Harleen just sent us a card using Memoir. Now, that's a card we can cherish forever.
And lastly, a sincere thank you to our project manager, Tammy, industry mentor, Umaima, and co-directors, Adarsh and Suhani.
Save the card.
Keep the memory.
Share the love.
With Memoir.
What is it to be the OCR? Is that a web-based? What are you using to do the OCR?
For the OCR, we're using the Microsoft
written model, and along with that, we built like a dual model architecture with Google Cloud Vision. So most of the time, our system does use the Microsoft ACM model, which is trained on the IAM handwritten data set. But for complex cards with like a lot of illustrations, it falls back to the Google Cloud Vision based on a confidence threshold that our TROCR model generates.
To create the memory, like are you guys using a graph-based model to store all the events that happen in the graph? Or like how do you guys are storing it so that you can retrieve it and create that memory lane or whatever the data is for sure?
So the way we're storing all of our memories is by the date that we have for each of the folders. And from our superbase, our front end calls each of the rows from our table to call it, and it shows up on our front end.
So looking at the architecture diagram, that was kind of vague, and I didn't quite get where the backend is actually running. So the question about backend running, and then also your persistence for like the images and things like that. Where are those being stored?
Yeah. So if I understand correctly, you're asking.
Yeah. Where are you persisting the images? I know you have a database, but like for the image files, are those on the object store, or are they local storage, and then in the backend, I think you have like a JavaScript or Node.js backend. Where is that running at?
Yeah, so the way we're storing our images, our Superbase has a built-in storage. That's where we're storing all our images and all our assets. And what was the other question?
The backend.
Yeah, so we're
where's that
using
running?
Flask API.
Where is it running?
On Flask.
No, like in the cloud on a server. Where is it running?
Yeah, it's our local server on our cloud.
Okay, thanks.
Google Maps says this is the fastest route.
Safeway says to turn around. Are you sure?
Stop!
What?
No!
Phew, that was a close call. And the fastest routes are not always the safest. That's why we build Safeway, so that you don't end up where you shouldn't be.
Navigation apps are optimized for speed, not safety. Blindly following them leads drivers off off bridges, which is Blindly following them leads drivers off collapsed bridges, which is what researchers call death by GPS. Amid 6 million crashes annually, only 23% of routes are the fastest and safest. We want to change that. Hi, I'm Prakina.
I'm Grace. I'm Hunter.
And I'm Siri.
Before we even choose our destination, we see our heat maps. So on the left, we have the hex view, which shows us neighborhood crash density at a glance. On the right, we have our road view, which highlights our roads, glowing brighter for greater severity crashes.
Well, all of that comes from safety scores. Every route in Safeway gets a safety score from 0 to 100. Under 25 means low risk, and 70 and above means danger. We use A-star algorithm to find the safest route by looking at the risk score of each intersection along the route. On top of that, we use sharp analysis to pull out top 3 reasons why a route might be risky, like sharp turns, poor lighting conditions, or high-speed intersection, and show them to the user so they actually understand what makes the route dangerous.
Safeway also has live traffic incidents, whether that be traffic jams, road closures, or accidents. These are all displayed on the map in real time.
Well, this is all cool, but we are extremely lost and we haven't gotten to CarCare yet. So let's use our handy Safeway application so that we don't end up in that dangerous alley like before. On our app, you can see that the heat map is already active. You can filter between different overlays and you can toggle them on or off. So you can see at a glance if the area that you're in is safe or no.
This is what Google Maps never shows you. Clicking on where to, let's head to Tagit. You can see the Google Maps Places API pull up all the information about your points of interest. Clicking on View Routes, you have minimum of 2 routes populate. Looking at the screen, the Google's option is 21 minutes and 18% safe. This is scored by our Safeway's algorithm. And the topmost route with the Safeway badge is our A-star custom route and not the Google's default. Here, it says it's 23 minutes and 56% safe. So it's just 2 extra minutes to avoid ending up in a dangerous alley like before. Well, what do these numbers exactly mean and where do they come?
That's where Route Insights comes in. So at first one, the Overview tab, where we see the safety score, the average speed, as well as traffic, as mentioned before by Hamza. Next up, we have AATT, which tells us the average traffic volume.
Well, does this change anything if I'm leaving at 10 p.m. tonight?
Yes, so that's where peak flow comes in. Users can choose if they want to leave at 10 p.m. or 5 p.m., and the map will show congestion levels at that specific time. Next, we have route segments. These are colored from dark purple to bright yellow. Purple is when users are safe, but yellow is where users may want to be more careful as they have a higher risk associated with those segments. And next up, we have hotspots. These show crash clusters, and these crash clusters have a higher crash history, so users want to avoid this area to be more safe. Now going back, we also have a 3D preview of our route with risk messages at the top. This helps you mentally drive your route before actually departing. And finally, we can press start to send our A-star route to Google Maps to start navigation.
Well, that was a full safe experience. Now let's talk about our tech stack. On the back end, we are using Fast API running on Google Cloud Run. Our data comes directly from Chicago's cache database, OpenStreetMap, and OpenMeteor for weather. GitHub Actions automatically retain our model every night. We store everything in Google Cloud Storage and Superbase. And on the front end, we are using React Native for mobile application and Google Maps for routing and map display.
Taking a closer look at our datasets, we are using over 57 different features to train our AI model. A core problem that we identified was 75% of our intersections had 0 crashes assigned to them. So that means if you pass this into a normal regression model, it would say 0 all the time and still be 75% right. Well, that's not something that we want. That's why we built a 2-stage hurdle model so that you have a CAD boost that filters out that 75%, and then the XG boost trains on the 25%, assigning each intersection its safety score. Our results were you have 89% accuracy in trying to identify if the route is dangerous or no. You can also see that we have a 74.5% variance, along with our results actually agreeing with the crashes 86% of the times.
Displaying this data can cause some front-end challenges. Displaying 50,000 segments of crash data can cause a lowering in performance. To fix this, we use H3 hexagonal binning to lower that number to only a few hundred polygons.
For the backend, the biggest challenge we had to face was we had to move everything to Google Cloud Storage for faster loading times, and lastly, finding enough suitable data to keep improving our model.
As you can see, our competitors, Google Maps, Waze, and Apple Maps, only prioritize for speed and not safety. They have no heat maps, no safety data, or climate-aware paths, where Safeway has all of this and more, such as weighted routing and safety scores.
Well, what's next for Safeway? We want to expand outside of Chicago and include a real-time incident reporting community so that users are more involved. Because after all, Safeway is a user's choice.
Know the risk?
Choose your route.
On the road, Safeway.
Two questions. First off, where are you sourcing the crash data from? And then second question, I didn't hear any mention of crime data and how that's factored in and where that's coming from.
Yes, I can take that question. So basically all our data sets are coming from the Chicago's data portal. It's an open data portal, so all the data is available online. And here we're taking up almost 8 different crash data. And coming to your crashes questions and like crimes, all of our data sets include like crashes, crimes, red light violations, and etc. You have a specific kind of weightage for each incident. So we are using CADCO, which is the federal standard. So we are making sure that any property damage or things like that are not considered into our safety score, but more like any fatal crashes, or as you can see, whichever was like filtered out with our heat maps. Those kinds of events were given more weightage in our safety score so that they give more proper info.
Okay, can you go to like some more deep? Because you mentioned I think you're excluding certain types of crime. Can you talk about like what types of crime is factoring in?
So we are trying to factor in things like, let's say there was a fatal accident nearby, or like specifically the data set includes those kinds of tags for each types of crashes. So we are including the timings, the weather, and
Okay, so you're not like factoring in like this is a dangerous neighborhood. There's been like armed robberies or anything like that, and steering people away from that.
we would, but then we also have to consider that if you're driving, you wouldn't a robbery on the shop beside you wouldn't affect you as a driver in your car. So we were trying to factor that into consideration so that more actual road accidents come into play than the property damage or like robbery. That does have a weightage, but not as much as a fatal accident.
Okay, thanks.
That's all the time we have right now. All right, and that is all the presentations we have for tonight. Can I get one more big round of applause for everyone? Judges, if I could kindly ask you guys to double check your rubrics and make sure every field is filled out as we will be using them soon, it's greatly appreciated. Thank you so much.
We will now be moving into a brief intermission, about 10 minutes while we tally up our scores. We will then be revealing our winners, so make sure you guys stick around for that. In the meantime, feel free to go talk with some friends, grab some refreshments. We'll be back in 10 minutes.
While you guys should take pictures of the teams by the projects before they announce winners and losers?
Yeah. I'm gonna stop streaming.
For the teams you guys did interview, let's just tell them to go there so they can take a picture. Or let me ask others from Suhani, maybe.
You locked in. That's your money, bro.
Fade, fade, fade.
We're puzzled. Yeah. That's why I hang out with her so much, so I could get that energy. The live stream hears us.
Are you like direct messaging them or what?
Yeah.
Yeah, his mom is my mom's sister, yeah.
His mom is my mom.
Oh, they're taking pictures over there, bro. We should take Elishma. Can we take pictures?
Okay, bye. I'm a little busy right now, but it's like a low-key bit in my car. How do I mute this? I don't think so. Hey guys! Hello. How do you mute
What's
this?
up? What's up? My media team, the goat. Did you
I don't know how to. I stopped streaming for a second and then I restarted.
Where's OBS?
Loki, should we just stop streaming for a second?
No. Don't mess with that.
Because I pressed it and it just like it disconnected and then got back. Oh wait, just.
Oh yeah, that's muted. like turn the thing on, see if it.
6 teams, photos completed. How many teams total? There's 9 or 10. 9 or 10. Okay, that should be okay. Not too much after. Hopefully it's nice and efficient.
All right, you guys. Before we discuss the placements, we're going to announce the awards to be handed out tonight. Each member of the team placing in first will receive a $50 Amazon gift card along with the trophy. Each member placing in second will receive a $35 Amazon gift card along with the trophy. And finally, each member of the team winning the design award will receive a special trophy as well.
The criteria for general judging included collaboration, visual design, implementation, demo execution, and presentation effect. The criteria for design award included user experience, aesthetics, originality, and presentation.
All right, we're going to start off with our design award. The winner of the design award is, can I get a drum roll, please? Congratulations, you guys. All right, now we're going to move on to our second place award. The winner for second place is, drum roll please, Congratulations, y'all.
Alright, congratulations to the second place team. Can I get one more round of applause for them? Alright, and now, the moment you've all been waiting for. The winner of ACE, can I get a big drum roll, please? The winner of ACM Projects 2026 is
Happy birthday, Ryan!
Happy birthday, Ryan!
Alright, congratulations once again to Agentic Detective for first place. If your team didn't place, please do not be discouraged. You all did such a fantastic job and gave amazing presentations and have created a functional application over just 10 weeks. Please be proud of your work, and we saw all your effort throughout the semester culminate into a working product. Can I get a round of applause for all the participants? Before we conclude tonight's event, we'd also like to thank our awesome PMs. Ethan, Matthew, Noel, Shreya, and Tammy for their amazing contributions to ACM Projects. We will miss you a lot and wish you the best in your future endeavors. Really quickly, I just want to say thank you guys so much. You guys have been such an amazing officer team. You guys have helped me so much become director, and you guys have just been amazing friends for as long as I've been in ACM Projects. Thank you guys so much.
I totally agree with everything Adar said. And on top of that, these past 2 semesters have been amazing for me. Getting to grow not only alongside you guys, but now as your director. I've also really enjoyed making connections with all of you guys outside of ACM. I truly believe we've become one big family, so I'm truly going to miss all of you guys.
Along with that as well, unfortunately, I will also be stepping down as director of ACM Projects right now. What? Oh my goodness. No. Seriously, guys, being director has been the best thing I've ever done in my college career. Seriously, it's given me the opportunity to help so many people semester after semester and make amazing friends. I know we always talk about it, ACM and ACM Projects is about the friends, but seriously, it really is. They've helped me grow as a person. They've helped me grow in my career as well. Genuinely, they're the most amazing people. Congrats to the participants. Thank you so much to the PMs. Thank you to the mentors, and thank you to the judges as well. As much as it pains me to leave, I would like to introduce the next director of ACM Projects. Can I get a drum roll, please? Rob!
Thank you guys so much for sticking around this long. This org has done so many things for me. I've grown so much personally, professionally, socially. Even this suit jacket I wore during my participant semester, and I think it fits me a little bit better now. So suffice to say, I won't do this place the disservice of trying to cram all of that into like a minute. Instead, I want to talk about what I think this org is for you guys. And at the end of the day, I think that ACM and ACM Projects, there's nothing that's that special about any individual piece of it. The projects you build here, you could build on your own with enough diligence and direction. Even the friendships you make here. I really like these people, but you could build relationships in your class this semester, and where they are now. They have their foot in the door to go to so many new things. They could go into development, they could do research on their own, they could drop ACM and go grind out some hackathons, they could drop computer science and programming and start studying chemistry. But wherever they end up, whether they're here or somewhere else, they have this community of people who are excited to have them back and are eager to hear about anything that they've gone and done. And that's what's really so special about ACM, is that beyond just being a community and beyond just having talented people, it's this intersection of brilliance and of such a strong community where you never have one without the other. I've got some really big shoes to fill, big shoes and big jackets to fill in this next semester, but I just want to make sure that ACM's a place, keep ACM a place where people are comfortable to talk about their losses and their efforts so that we have that to contextualize those big and bigger wins more and more every single time. So yeah, thank you guys so much.
I am super excited for Rob to continue as next director of ACM Projects. He's already brought so many amazing ideas, and I know he's going to do an amazing job next semester.
Totally agree with everything that Adar said. I'm very, very excited to work with Ram. We actually joined as PMs together back 2 semesters ago. So watching him grow and helping me grow alongside with him has been an amazing journey. He is someone with big ideas and a lot of drive, so I'm very excited to see where we can take ACM Projects next semester. And along with that, I'm very sad to say goodbye to Adarsh. He's been a big mentor of mine. Some of you may remember from last semester, I actually joined ACM Projects because of Adarsh. So I owe a lot of my success to him in ACM Projects, and I'm very excited to see how he'll help me continue to grow as advisor.
Thank you, Tony, for the really nice words. I really appreciate it. With that being said, on behalf of all the members of ACM Projects, we'd like to thank you once more for being here, coming out tonight and supporting ACM Projects. Special thanks to our judges for taking the time today. We really appreciate it. We hope you enjoyed seeing what the teams have put together and were able to accomplish this semester. And that concludes ACM Projects Spring 2026.
But don't worry, we'll always be back next semester for more. So, if you would like to scan this QR code to get some more information about ACM, and also be on the lookout for our applications opening late in the summer in mid-August. So please scan this QR code on the screen to learn more. I'll give you guys a moment to go ahead and do that right now.
Thank you so much, everyone, and have a great night. Participants, PMs, and